So, you're doing things on your iPhone to help your business. But did you know there are systems hiding in plain sight that can give you hours back every week? It's not another app to download. It's not another subscription to pay for. These are built-in tools that you already have on your iPhone that you're probably not using, but you could be. I'm going to show you 3 ways that I use Apple features, including Apple Intelligence, to help with follow-ups, momentum, and accountability for you and your team without adding more work. Other than the initial setup, I guess that's technically more work. And at the end, there's a bonus automation that people hardly ever think of to set up because it doesn't look powerful at first until you see what it replaces.
We aren't just a video production company. We are business solution driven creatives. And this is More Than Meets the Eye.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the More Than Meets the Eye podcast, where we talk about what's behind a person, a practice, or a product, especially when it comes to marketing, because we're business solution-driven creatives. I'm Jared Taylor. I've got my coffee, and I want to welcome you to JT Visuals, and that's spelled without the I because there's more than meets the eye. Things don't usually fail because of effort. They usually fail because of follow-through. And to give you an example, when I was learning piano one-on-one with a coach one time, she was telling me that it doesn't matter how hard you press the key. It's more about how fast you press the key. If you press down extremely hard on a piano key, it is not going to make a louder sound. It's actually about how fast you strike it. And the point is, I could try all that I want and put all the effort and pressure down into that one key, but it won't matter if I didn't understand the actual mechanism or the follow-through. It's not about working hard because you can work hard stupidly. It's about the systems and the follow-throughs and how you lead yourself. And without further ado, here are the 3 things that I use for my Apple features to help save myself time through the week. So we have 2 different systems set up. We have our general phone number, which is the public number that goes through our CRM to be able to get answered phone calls and inquiries and automated text based on appointments. These are very limiting because they are not iPhone. They are over SMS or even RCS, and it costs a lot per text if we're sending large videos or images over it. And as a way in this AI-driven world to add more personal approaches to things, I am also giving direct lines to my specific phone, which is an iPhone. So when there's someone coming in to our studio and it's their first time, I am finding myself texting them directly from my phone that, hey, this place has been known to be hard to find. And not everyone checks their emails, so a solution for that was to remind them that it shows up on Apple and Google Maps, as well as send them a screenshot of the Google Maps layout, draw and annotate on that, and point an arrow towards the direction they need to go. And this is a piece of really good information because when we first moved here, we quickly learned that it was very hard to find, and we were looking for the client and they were lost, and we would always expect a phone call before they would come in, and then we'd spend 5-10 minutes just trying to run around the campus trying to find them. But we came up with better ways to describe the parking situation, which one is the right entrance, and then we also meet them out there. And that's a general operation change. But where it comes into play with Apple is to set Apple shortcuts so that I can make an automation and tell Siri to send this routine text to so-and-so. You can tell Siri to make it as easy as possible to send the parking situation text or whatever keyword or whatever you want to call it. And you can set up the Apple shortcut so that when that happens, Siri can ask, who would you like to send it to? And then it knows to send the photo and it knows to send the text. And that came directly from you and not just some system text that doesn't even have a full phone number and people can ignore pretty easily. This gives that personal touch, that personal reminder, and all you have to do is hit send once it happens. You just talk to Siri like it's your assistant, and then it follows through. But you just have that initial setup that you have to do using the Apple Shortcuts app. But after doing something like this, it made me wonder, what else could I do to help all the mundane tasks like this? Because I can try to memorize all that I need to do, but the truth is that ends up becoming a bottleneck. Memory equals bottleneck. And so the second way that you can use Apple Intelligence, and this is by far the best thing from Apple Intelligence right now, is to get into the habit, open your Notes app, and then attach a new recording and record your entire meetings, whether that be a team meeting, whether that be a client meeting or a strategy session, or even a quick call could be recorded. And that can be stored in your Notes app, and you can still have access to write in the Notes app as well, or on paper, depending on your preference there. And as soon as it's over, you can stop the recording, and it already has a full transcript of everything you just talked about, and you can come up with immediate summaries for your meetings. This means that you could have a really fast conversation recap ready to email a client. And you could take it even further if you start using Apple shortcuts to also send the email on your behalf as well. This makes you look really polished, also helps you listen better, and the client feels like you listen better as well when you repeat back the goals and the terms and everything that you talked about in that meeting. And if you don't have an iPhone, it's okay. You can do this in ChatGPT or Gemini as well. The point is that you develop a habit that when you start a meeting, you press record on your phone and use it. And I think the thing that stopped me in the beginning from developing this habit was in college or in high school when they would say, hey, don't record because it's not good for note taking. Because they would say when you go back and review all of that, you end up having hours of footage or hours of recordings to go through just to study for a test or whatever the example was. But now with AI summaries, you don't have to worry about that. It's literally taking notes for you, assuming that it can hear it correctly and transcribe correctly. And while that's a full transcript, now you can also get a condensed version as a summary or prompt it to come up with something else. What were all the action steps we needed to take during this meeting? And it can give you what it thought based on what you were saying were the decisions, and you just quickly edit it and guide it towards what you actually needed or what you feel was the correct action steps. But none of this really matters unless there's pressure to act, which is where this gets really interesting. The third thing is that you can become a better accountability partner, you can lead yourself better, or become a greater leader in general through text automations. If you find that there are routine follow-ups for your team and you're in charge of that team, then you could set yourself up for success by making an automation that says every Monday at 9 a.m., send Sally a text that asks her this question. And then that question could be your check-in for the week or whatever it was. And what it does is it doesn't automatically send it. It pops up on your phone and you can edit it right beforehand if you want to, and you hit send. So it's still you doing it, but this becomes more of a glorified reminder ready to execute with the touch of a button. So for example, I was in a networking group and we wanted to take accountability seriously. So we all scrambled and found people and decided to have accountability with each other as leaders to be able to make sure we followed up with who we should follow up with and if the previous week was good or not. So it's a routine check-in, but that routine check-in, when they know that's consistent and comes in every Monday or every Tuesday, whenever you have it set, then that creates the proper accountability for them to perform better. And then you look better as a leader, but also they should be reciprocating, asking back the same thing. So I did this for weeks and I'm like, dude, you're going to hate me because I'm going to actually do this. And I set up the Apple shortcuts for every Monday. And I asked, hey, did you get to ask any visitors or get any new one-to-ones this week? And that was it. Every time it would go through on the dot, never failed. And that created this very strong, consistent follow-up system to help develop the character of myself and this other person. And in this simple shortcut that you can build unlocks so many other ideas for this because it doesn't have to stop at texts. It could become emails. It could become phone calls, and you could take it into your personal life. For example, have you ever hit the send later button because you want to impress people that you woke up at 4 a.m. to send them an encouragement, but actually you wrote it in the night before and just scheduled it? Well, yeah, you can schedule texts. So what if that was an automation as well? This really helps stopping things from falling through the cracks. And how many things have fallen through the cracks that could have been that next opportunity, could have been that breakthrough for your business, but it slipped through the cracks because your system wasn't set up for it. In the book Atomic Habits, they say that you don't rise to the level of your goals. Otherwise, we'd all accomplish our goals. How many people want to be an Olympian or play in the NFL? But just because they set a big, audacious goal doesn't mean they're going to accomplish it. The quote from the book says this: "You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems." So if you make your systems level you up consistently, there is no choice but to grow your business and scale it and get better and more productive. There's so much more you can do with Apple Intelligence and Apple Shortcuts app that's already built into your phone, which is why I'm going to give you one bonus one. I have our weekly meeting agendas written in my Apple Notes. And in there, we have a verse of the month that we like to ponder. So inside my Apple Shortcuts, I designed it to look for this note in particular, and then look for a key phrase that says verse of the month. And then you can tell it to run Apple Intelligence AI model, which can be local to your phone, not on the internet. So you're not feeding AI all of this information if you care about that kind of privacy, but you can also select ChatGPT in Apple Shortcuts as well. And then you can have it read back a morning report every morning, and you can tell it to look at your calendar. What do you have on the day? And what is the verse of the month? And anything else that you want to include. And you can generate a morning report all through Apple Shortcuts. However you want to design it, as long as that information is already there, even if it's scattered, you can utilize the AI to cater specific, concise reports that you need to know. It's kind of like having an executive assistant. But I'll warn you on this one, the voice model is not very good yet. So we're waiting on that. And the last bonus that kind of goes along with this that I should share is just that you can actually have 2 phone numbers on your iPhone, on most of them, and you can go get a service from Tello.com or another one and get another phone number that can be a direct line, so you can have iMessage and use a business line to add more of a personal approach to your business without giving away your personal phone number. And then that can help you get into the ecosystem of Apple Shortcuts if you're not already doing it. So that way, all of those texts that come through could be from your business line. So these systems save so many minutes. And if you found value in this, then you'll like what we have over on our school community. Link is in the description if you're interested in saving hours or even years because of the courses we have on there and the resources. There's also the shared accountability and content about long-term brand leverage. If that's what you're optimizing for, then you know where to find us. Link is in the description. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching. If you want to go deeper into this kind of material and actually learn how to do it, then let us know in the comments and we could create a course designed specifically from your comment, because we're here to win together. I'm Jared Taylor, and I want to remind you to keep on keeping on.